Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for coming and joining us as we're dedicated by Shalom Fogel, Lili Nishmas, Yaakov Zeb, and Yehuda Aryeh, Rivka Bas Yaakov Yosef, Sivi Miriam Bas Gad, Yosef Ben Tzim Ben Yaakov Zeb, Lefu Shalem for Moshe Aryeh Ben Miriam, for a great shidduch for Chayet Tzivya Bas Shoshana Gittel, a great shidduch for Batya Bas Sarah, and by Baruch Ian, Lili Nishmas, Yaakov Chai Ben Abba, Esther Bas Yona, Abram Ben Shmuel HaKain, Lefu Shalem for Liba Bas Anya, and Lefu Shalem for Yosef Shmuel Ben Miriam. Everybody should have a healthy baby, especially a healthy mommy, healthy baby for Ariel and Lior Bas Elza Rivka.
Mordechai Tzvi ben Ruschana Refush.
Mordechai Tzvi ben Ruschana should have Refush Shalema B'Sei Shecher Yisrael. Okay. We're holding on the bottom of Chav Zayin Amud Beis, and we said that according to Rabbi Yehuda, El is Dafka. So Maskefla Rav Yosef, the Rabbi Yehuda, B'de El Dafka, if El is Dafka, then Al Nami Dafka. That causes a problem, because in the second base of Mikdash there was no Aron. The Aron wasn't there. Ela the Mikdash Sheni, the loy have a Aron v'kapiris, where you didn't have the Aron and the Ark cover. Hakanami the loy avid hazais. It says Al. Does it mean that they didn't do the sprinklings on Yom Kippur? Amar Rabba Bar Ula Amar Kra v'chiper es Mikdash hakodesh, and he shall atone es Mikdash hakodesh for the holy of the holies. Makam HaMekudesh L'Kodesh, the place that's sanctified where the Aron used to be, that's where you spray to. Rava said, you know the original question that we had by the Parah Aduma, that one says that if the sprinkling was not directed properly, it's good, and one said it's no good. Hava HaRabbanan. They're both going according to Rabbanan. Hai Dekoy Mizuch Ma'arav Adei. One is where at least he's standing at the east and doing it towards the west. It might not be directly El Mayid, but at least he's standing in the right direction. That's good. If he's standing south and north, so he's not doing it in the right direction at all, that's no good. Now, we're going to analyze a little bit further. Amamar, V'shebefnim v'shebemitzayra, the sprinkling on the inside and the sprinkling by the loig of the Mitzayra, Shaloi Lishman Psulais, if it's done Shaloi Lishman, it's possible. Shaloi Mechuvanais Ksheris, if it's not in the right direction, it's kosher. Says the Gemara, Shaloi Lishman is possible, but we learned not that way. Vatanya, Bein Shaloi Lishman, Bein Shaloi Mechuvanais Ksheris. Whether it's Shaloi Lishman or not in the right direction, it's kosher. Now, let's analyze this. By most karbanos, Shaloi Lishma does not disqualify. However, Amar Rav Yosef loy kasha, HaReb Eliezer, the one that says Shaloi Lishman is puzzle, it's going according to Rav Eliezer, who compares Ashim to Chatas. HaRabbanan, that doesn't compare Ashim to Chatas. Reb Eliezer, the Makish Ashim L'Chatas, he says, the Ashim Kechatas, so just like a Chatas Shaloi L'Shma is possible, Ashim Shaloi L'Shma is possible, and he's Makish Nami Loig L'Ashim. He's Makish the Loig of the Mitzayra to the Ashim, and that's why it's possible Shaloi L'Shma. However, Rabbanan Loi Makshe, Rabbanan hold only Chatas and Pesach Shaloi L'Shma is possible, and Ashim is not possible. And therefore the Loig Shemin, if it's done Shaloi Lishma, is also not going to be possible. Says Gemara, but I don't understand. In order to do that, you would have to learn first. We know Ashim Shaloi Lishma is possible because of a hekesh. It says Kachatis Ka'ashim. And then we learn out like Mitzayra with another hekesh. But we know by Kachim Ul Reb Eliezer V'chi Davar Alamed Behekesh Chayzim Ulamed Behekesh, we don't learn something that we learned originally from Hekesh through another Hekesh. Ela Amar Rava, different answer. Haba HaRabbanan. But like everywhere else except for Chatas and Pesach, Shaloi Lishma is kosher, but it's like alul l'balam l'shem chayva. They have to bring another carbon. So here also, the loig, if done shalai l'shma, it's going to be kosher. But and we would be able to use the remainder of the oil. But it's not alul l'balam l'shem chayva. So the one that says pasul means that the owner has to bring another carbon. El amar Rav hava rabbanan kan lahachshir. One is to say that it's a good carbon. That it is. Kan lahartzais, that the owner shouldn't have to bring another carbon. That it doesn't do, because like everywhere else, shaloi l'shma is lo yalul l'balam l'shem chayva. Okay, now we move into the topic of the menorah. Now, but we're continuing the theme that certain things are indispensable. So Shiva Kanei Menorah, the 7 branches of the menorah, are indispensable. Ma'ak v'zeh in the base of Mikdash. Shiva Neiroseh, it's 7 lamps. Ma'ak v'zeh are indispensable. Shtei Parshiyah Shiva Mezuzah. Mezuzah has 2 Parshiyah, Shema v'yim Shmaya. Ma'ak v'zu. They're indispensable. Afilu Ksav Echad Ma'akvin. Even one letter is indispensable. One letter is no good in a mezuzah. The mezuzah is pasul. Arba Parshiyah Shebetfilin, the 4 Parshiyas of the Tefillin Ma'ak v'zu, and Afilu Ksav Echad Ma'akvan. And even if it's missing one letter, it's no good. Arba Tzitziyos Ma'ak v'zu. It's one set. You have to have 4 pairs. 4 tzitzis or nothing. Sha'arba Osan Mitzvah Achas. All 4 are one mitzvah. Rabbi Shmuel disagrees. We don't pass like Rabbi Shmuel, but Rabbi Shmuel Arbos and Arba mitzvahs. It's 4 separate mitzvahs, so you could have one without the other. Now, so by the menorah, my time, why are the 7 branches essential? Havayik Sibu, it says the code word Havayim, Behav Yosatei, Tan Rabbanan. So now we're going to talk about the material of the menorah. So first of all, one of the miraculous things of the menorah is it had to be fashioned out of 1 block of gold. You couldn't make separate parts and put it together. From 1 single block of material. And from gold. Also minagutois, if you made it from separate scraps of metal, it's no good. Psula. Mishar mine matchus, but if you used other metals, silver, let's say, or tin, or bronze, ksheira. So the Gemara says, Maishna minagutois psula. Why is it that if it's done from scraps, it's pasul? Dichsiv miksha v'avaya. It has to be from one piece, and it says avaya, which means b'avyasante. It has to be that way. But shamine matchus nami, then other metals shouldn't be good because zav avaya. It says also zav and avaya, so that should make gold indispensable. Says the Gemara, yeah, but amakra te'aseh, it's extra. It repeats you should make it l'rabbi shamine matchus, to include other metals. Says the Gemara, ve'ema l'rabbis grutois. Maybe it should include even if you make it out of different scraps. Says the Gemara, because on the word miksha it says havaya, so that has to be 1 block. So the Gemara says te'asa nami amiksha ksiv, but it says te'asa also a miksha, so we should say that te'asa should include even if it's not 1 block. Says the Gemara, no, miksha lak, if it says miksha twice, which tells us that it's essential to be 1 piece. So the Gemara says, well, zav nami lak, if it says zav many times also. So now basically what the Gemara is going to say is it says 5 times zav and 4 times miksha. And the only way it works is if we learn that by zav, it's even if it's other materials. And we'll see that there's a difference that you only need certain things if it's gold. But if it's other materials, you don't need certain things. And by a block, miksha, it insists that it has to be a block and not scrap. Hi, mai. Psula, from scrap is pasul. Mishar mine matchas ksheira, and other metals are kosher. That would fit with all the drushes. Hainu zav zav, that's how we'll explain the 5 times it says zav, and miksha miksha. And the 4 times it says miksha, it will all work out l'drasha. Eliyamrit gruta is kshera, but if the scrap is kosher, and mishamine matchis psula, but other metals are puzzle, then zav zav miksha miksha my darshas pay. The drashas would not work out. And now the Gemara goes through the drashas. Very interesting drashas. The Tanya, kikar zav tar yasa osa es kala kelim. From a talent of gold, you should make the menorah and its accessories. But the necessity to use a talent is only if it comes gold. Ba'azav, ba'kikar. Ain't a ba'azav, but if it's made out of silver, ain't a ba'kikar. So you see that it's clear that you could use other metals, but if you use other metals, you don't need to use a talent. Now it also says that there's different designs. Givi'eha, cups, kaftareh, balls, upracheh, and flowers. Now here again, Bazav, if it's gold, you need the cups, balls, and flowers. Ain a bazav, if it's not from gold, you don't need the cups, the balls, and the flowers. Says the Gemara, that only if it's gold you need the 7 branches. Ain a bazav, if it's not gold, ain a ba'kanim, you don't need the branches. Says the Gemara, you have to have branches, because if you don't have the branches, it's not a menorah, it's a candlestick. How pamad mikre? If it's not going to be branches, then that's not going to be a menorah, that's a candlestick. Now, we're going to learn about the drashas of miksha. V'zeh ma'aseh menorah. This is the way of the menorah. Miksha zav. 1 piece gold. Ba zav, ba miksha. If it's gold, it has to be from 1 piece. Ain a ba zav. If it's not gold, ain a ba miksha. It doesn't have to be 1 piece. Miksha the seifa l'maya. So what do we do with the later miksha? L'ma'ute chatzaitzris. That the trumpets don't have to be made from a single piece. The Tanya chatzaitzris hayabon mina eshes mina kesef. It should be from 1 piece from silver, but asa mina grutois. But if it's made from silver scraps, ksherim, mishar mine matris. But if it's made from other metals besides silver, psulin. Says the Gemara, maishna mine matris psulin. That if it's made from different types of metals, it's partial to chsiv kesef avaya. It says kesef and it says avaya b'av yosantei. Mina grutois nami miksha avaya. It says from 1 piece, and it should be that way. Says the Gemara, Miyat Rachmana Gabe Menorah, the Torah is Mamai by the Menorah Miksha He. The Menorah has to be 1 piece. He v'loy chatzaitzis. The trumpets don't have to be 1 piece. Tana Rabbana. Tana Rabbana. Kol ha'kelim she'asa Moshe. Whatever Moshe Rabbeinu made, ksherim lai, was good for him, uksheim l'daris, and was able to be used in later generations. Chatzaitzis, the trumpets that Moshe Rabbeinu used, ksheris lai, it was only for his use. Upsulas l'daris, after he used it, they hid it, and they made other trumpets. Says the Gemara, chatzaitzis my time. Why were the trumpets exclusively Moshe's? You should make for yourself, which we dash in that would be a problem. You should make for yourself an Aaron 8. Was the Aaron good only for Moshe? Of course they used the Aaron afterwards too. It means Mishelcha, make it from your own funds. They made it from communal funds, but Hashem said, really, I would want yours more than theirs. Says the Gemara, so by Chatzaitzis also, when it says Asei L'cha, it either means make it from your own funds, or I would rather it would really be from you. Says the Gemara, Shani Hasim, it's different by the trumpets. The Amakra Lecha Trei Zimnei, it repeats it. Asay Lecha and Vahaya Lecha. So there it was exclusively Moshe Rabbeinu's. Afterwards it was hidden, and it wasn't used ever again. Now, let's welcome in the people. I think that there's a special note that I think tonight there's a game on called the Super Bowl. And people could be busy with the game, and instead they choose to come and learn Torah. So that's a...
Halftime, so it's perfect.
Is the halftime that long?
I think it's going to be about 30 to 40 minutes.
Really?
Halftime is 15 minutes, Marshall.
Not in the Super Bowl.
Yes,
It's a double.
Well, don't tell Marshall. Let him think it's an hour.
That's fine, I don't mind, I'm here.
Yeah. Anyway, we welcome in Yaakov Warman and Menachem Umansky and Baruch Ian and Ruven Shanit, Nachman Chapler, Berish Gesserman, Yisrael Fisher, Eddie Chazan, Saba, Dr. Block, Shelley Zeitlin, Reb Kramer, Yitzi Fuchs, Barry Cement, Danny Vogel, Shimon Klein, Shalom Fogel, Marshall Castle, Elia Yaffe, Avram Rezepkritz, Richard Rosenzweig, Abe Arbach, Ilya Shutman, Yeshua Shmuel Eisenberg, and David Helfgott. It's wonderful to have all of you here joining us this evening. Now.
Can I ask a quick question, Rabbi White?
Yeah.
How was it made miksha achas? What does it mean? How was it they banged it out from a big piece of gold?
Yes.
What does it mean?
Yes.
So
And
how would you have it with silver? How can you add silver to it? How would it have been done?
they banged it out from a big piece of silver.
But you couldn't mix gold and silver, right? You could never be together.
No, the menorah was gold and the trumpets were silver.
And a quick one, can they pour it from a melt? In other words, they made the form, then they poured gold in, like that, melted gold?
No. Miksha means hammered.
Okay,
Now,
big piece of gold there.
now. Tani Rav Papa Bereid Rav Chanan Kamed Rav Yosef. Rav Papa, the son of Rav Chanan, taught before Rav Yosef. Menorah isabah mina eshes minazav. It comes from one piece and from gold. Also shall kesef kshev. If it was done with silver, it's kosher. Shall ba'at out of tin, v'shel aver or lead, v'shel gistron or of bronze. Rebbe Paisel. Rebbe holds it's possible. Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Yehuda Machshe. Shel eitz v'shel etzem v'shel zechuches, out of wood, out of bone, or out of glass, divra kol psula. Now, not everybody is going to agree with this. Amalei mai daitach. What do you think is the machloikis over here? Amalei bein mar klale uprate drashe. They dash in a klal prat, a klal, a generalization, specification, generalization. Miu mausaver, that since the prat is gold, ma prat mefurish shel matchis, af kol shel matchis. It could be anything of metal. So it could be tin, it could be bronze. Or mausaver, ma prat mefurish davar chashiv, gold. Af kol davar chashiv, only silver, which is chashiv. Amalei, so Rav Yosef said, I have a different version. Sami didach mikami didi. Erase your version for my version. The Tanya, klei shoresh she'asan shel eitz, ministering vessels made out of wood. Rebbe Paisel, Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Yehuda Machshe. Also, you see, according to this version, even wood is good. But my kamifligi, Rebbe Darish Klali Aprate, Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Yehuda Darish Ribuya Muti. Amplification limitation is more inclusive than a generalization specification. Rebbe Darish Klali Aprate, Vasisa Menairas Klal. Zov Tar is a prat, is a specification. Miksha te'asem menayah from one piece is cause of a klal. Klal prat a klal. Yatadona lekeina prat. Ma prat mafur shel matkes, metal. Av kol shel matkes. And then wood would not be good. Rabbi Yehuda Darish Ribuye Umiyute. He darshins an amplification limitation. Vasisa Menairas Riba. Zav Tar Miet. Miksha Teasa Menaira Chazav Riba. Riba Miet Veriba Riba Akal. It includes everything, even wood. So, my Rabbi Kol Mile, even wood. Or my Miet, even wood, even bone. Or my Miet, only Miet Shel Cheres. And only excludes earthenware. So he says, Adarabba, why should I erase your teaching from my teaching? Maybe you should erase your teaching because of my teaching. Adarabba, Sami Didach, erase yours, Mikami Didi. Says because we have proof. According to you, everybody holds wood is no good. But we have proof that there's opinion that wood is good. The Tanya, Ein Lo Zav, if he doesn't have gold, maybe afshel kesef shel nechaishes, you could bring silver, copper, shel barzel v'shel bedil of copper, tin, shel eferes lead, v'al Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yehuda machshir af b'shel eitz. So you see, there's an opinion that wood is good. V'tani idach. You're not allowed to make a house in the exact shape of the temple. Achsadra or a porch, keneged ulam, like the antechamber. Shulchan keneged shulchan, you can't make the dimensions of the shulchan. Menorah keneged menorah. Aval oisu chamishav. Aval oisu, but you could make out of 5 branches. One of the reasons they say that Hanukkah is 8 days, even though the first day we had oil, is that we didn't want everybody making a menorah of 7 branches. But you shouldn't make it out of 7. Even of other metals. You shouldn't even make a replica of wood, because that's what the Chashmonayim use. Initially, they didn't have money to use silver or gold, so they made it out of wood. Amrullah, so he said, no, they didn't use wood. Misham Raya, Shpudim Shel Barzel Hayu, they made it out of spits of iron. The Chifam Babats, and covered it with tin because it made it look more like silver. Heshiru, when they had more money, Asim Shel Kesef, they made it out of silver. Chazru Veshiru, when they became more wealthy, Asim Shel Zav, they made it out of gold.
There's people in the waiting room.
No, there isn't.
Irving said he's in the waiting room.
Huh. Let me see.
Yeah, I had a hard time getting on today.
I don't know how to get people. I don't have a waiting room all of a sudden.
They're all watching the Super Bowl.
Not like you're on a board.
Rabbi, I'll tell him to sign off and modify.
Okay.
I have the waiting room disabled. Okay. You spoke to him? I think Irving, we got him, okay. We got Irving. Welcome back, Irving. We're holding towards the bottom of Chavches Amid Beis. Amar Shmuel. Amar Shmuel Mishmei de Saba. Usually when it says Saba in the Gemara, it refers to Eliyahu Navi. Gova shel Menorah, the height of the Menorah was Shmeina Eser Tvachim, was 18 Tvachim. Haraglayim, the feet with the base and the first flower, Haraglayim va'perach, took up Shloisha Tvachim, took up 3. Let's get a count over here. So that's so far 3. All right. Then after that, it went up straight. The shaft, the main shaft, went up straight 2 tefachim with nothing. Then the tefachayim cholok, it went up 2 without anything. Then the tefach, and then another tefach, shebay, that had on 3 sides. On one side gavia, on one side a cup, on one side a kafter, a ball, and one side a perach, a flower. So that was a busy tefach. That gives us 6 so far. Then with tefachayim cholok, it went up another 2 tefachs, and then the tefach kafter. Then there was a tefach with a ball. So according to my counting, we're already at 9. And then from that ball, jutted out the first 2 branches. Ushnei konim yotzim imenu. 2 branches went out from either side. Echad elach ve'echad elach, one to the right, one to the left. And they went up, keneged gover shel menorah, all the way to the top of the menorah. Then a tefach cholak, then another tefach of the shaft without anything. Then the tefach kafter, then another tefach with a ball, and from there again, ushnei konim yotzim imenu, the next 2 branches came out, echad elach ve'echad elach, each one going to each side, nimshachim v'oilin, going up keneged gover shel menorah. Then the tefach cholak, then another tefach, the shaft, smooth, and then the tefach kafter, and then another tefach with a ball, with the final 2 branches coming out. Ushnei konim yotzim imenu, echad elach ve'echad elach, v'nimshachim v'oilin keneged gover shel menorah, and went to the top of the menorah. Utvachayim cholak, then the shaft was again 2 tvachim straight, smooth. Nishtayu sham shloisha tvachim, that leaves another 3 tvachim. Shebehen shloisha gvian, in those 3 tvachim there were 3 cups, v'kaftor v'ferach, and a ball and a flower. Now, u'gvian l'mahim diamond, what do these cups look like? Kamin kaisas Alexandrian, like Alexandrian goblets. Kaftorin l'mahim diamond, these balls, what do they look like? They don't look like a football. Kaftorin l'mahim diamond, kamin tapuchei hakritiim. It's like the Croatian apples. Prachim l'mahim diamond, or kratim apples. Prachim l'mahim diamond, the flowers, what do they look like? Kamin pirchei ha'amudim, like the flowers that are on columns, decorative flowers. Okay, this is where we will stop. What a very interesting daf it was. And again, kudos to everybody for coming on, even though there was a football game. And now we're going to do the Mishnah Yomis.
Question, please, one question. According to all this, the branches that went out had nothing on them. It was only the center.
That's correct. That's correct.
So all the pictures that we see, even from Titus when he came back, these are baloney.
No, the branches were smooth.
I'm saying, so the pictures you see that falls, that's not true.
It's only on the center shaft.
Only on the center shaft.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, good to know.